partners, they can, if you want, whore around publicly, and they get a lot of appreciation. Whereas when women do this, they have been chided, degraded, and demeaned as sluts and so on. And then you want some sort of take over this male privilege, that you want to break out of this of your boundaries and so on. So this is why Miranda has, in a way, a desire, or may have a desire for many, for some women, in a way. Of course, this is a desire which is rather periodical, because of a lot of changes in your life. I mean, especially in your youth. So you, in your youth, again, assumably, it's the same with man and woman. But in man, if you're a man in your youth, I talked about it quite a while. This is then you want to have, of course, a lot of sexual intercourse with women, or want to get to know a lot of women, but then when you become later, then you some sort of see the world a little bit different, and so on. And with women, it is the same, I would say, as well. Then the second very interesting partner in Sex and the City is, of course, Miranda, this if you want, this emancipated woman. I will give a small. Pardon me. I will give a small summary of this character type, and this is that Miranda is if you want, this you would rather say this feminist, independent woman. So she's more about herself. She's more conscious about herself, in that sense that she does not need man to define herself. So she lives her life. She's successful, and she doesn't some sort of fit, in a way, those normal, typical female gender roles. So she doesn't want to talk about man as well. So this is some sort of this emancipated, very successful woman who is more conscious about female issues. And if you wonder why would this be very attractive, or why would this character arc be appealing to some people, of course we have to be remind us in a way of what we talked about, female gender. So if you want to be successful in a society, especially in a male society, then of course you have to adapt to some male behavior. This starts in the office, this goes on and on. So if you want to accomplish anything at all, so you adapt to some degree. You become more masculine. You go along some patterns, and in a way you have to be this good buddy to your male colleagues and so on. So from this point of view, you become successful, and in the same way you some sort of lose some of your femininity. So you sacrifice for your success parts of your femininity, especially when it comes to defining your sexual drive, your sexual will as well. Because you could say, why isn't Miranda so self-assured like Samantha? Why isn't she that that she would say, who cares? I use man like a tool. This is self-emancipation as well. So she could as well as say, I don't need man. I am not emotionally dependent on man, but yet I use them. I use them for my own pleasure show. So why doesn't she do that? Well, Miranda, in that sense, she, like I said, represents this successful female who is successful in a very in a male domain. It is law, and in law, it's the way how you dress. Law is about or it's about fact. It is straightforward. So Miranda is a good lawyer. So it is in a way this male world which has not really appealing. So you cannot, if you want, be creative. You do not work in an art gallery like Charlotte, or you cannot express yourself in your thoughts with like Carrie, who writes this sex column. No, law is rather you follow the rules, and this is some sort of in a way epitomized in that sense that you take over some sort of a male bearing, male appeal, male dresses. As a lawyer, I mean, you are wearing a suit. You do not dress appealing and sexy, and this, of course, comes with a lot of insecurity as well, as because you sacrifice your femininity, you sacrifice your female drive in order to be more amicable, in order to be more accepted in this male domain. And everyone, of course, will say, no, this is not the case, because if we watch Miranda, she's this very, 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 very adamant woman who knows what she wants, and this is independence and so on. Of course, she's very strong, headstrong. She knows what she wants, but we have to be aware of one thing as well, and this is that the more you lean towards adapting to male behavior, the less you some sort of are more sexually, or have more sexual the more you feel then sexually sophisticated you have, or have a positive feeling to your sexual drive. This is what you see with in Miranda, as well as because her boyfriend Steve, he's actually a bar keeper who earns less than her. So if you want, she's in this relationship, she's the man, she's the dominant force. She in a way has transformed this role model, and Steve, her boyfriend, he's some sort of underneath her. He's weak, he's dependent on her because she's wealthy, she's a lawyer. And then later in the TV show, Steve even becomes or gets cancer in his I think in his balls, so in his hoden. So he has issues with erection, or it is about his manhood. So he gets cancer in a way, and this again is some sort of this proves that Steve is some sort of in a way castrated. He's in a way some sort of underneath Miranda, and Miranda is some sort of in a way the real man in this arc. This is what you can pretty much perceive, and this speaks of course to many women, not that they wanna castrate men or in a way subordinate men. No, this is rather if you feel an insecurity with your sexuality because you have to in a way adapt to a male society. If you feel insecurity with being a woman, and I don't mean just asserting yourself. There is a difference between asserting yourself what you want, or for example that you assert yourself as being independent, that no one should interfere with your life, and that you have a very assertive understanding of your female body, of your womanhood, of your desires and pleasures. So, and this is what you can pretty much perceive in the show, that Miranda has not this real assertive female sexual desire like Samantha it has. So she feels some sort of, and this is why Miranda some sort of speaks to many women, if you want, in our age, because they more and more became masculine, and then their sexual drive, their self assurance as a woman suffers from it, and then they do not feel more woman enough. They some sort of feel uncomfortable in a way with very dominant man, because it is assumed a very dominant or highly testosterone loaded man, some sort of would desire a very feminine woman, feminine not in that sense that that the woman subordinates herself to the man, no, feminine in the sense that she has a positive view, like Samantha, on her sexual drive. And this, of course, leads to fear, especially in our age. I mean, women become more and more masculine, women more and more struggle to be feminine, and as well as this has been considered as negative as well. And then a man, a dominant man, becomes more and more a threat, and it is then easier for you to assert your femininity, your womanhood, if you have a partner who is maybe not as assertive than you, like you are, who is not as successful than you, so that you in a way control him, because Steve is in a way dependent from Miranda. Miranda has more money, Miranda has more control over him, and this gives her in a way more assurance, more self-sophistication. This makes her feel better. This is why this may be appealing to many women in our age, because not that they were, again, not because they want to castrate man or in a way subordinate man. No, it is rather that in our society, especially in this is again some sort of a contradiction. Women are in a way over sexualized, but yet this is some sort of a shallow construct, because yet it leaves the big question open. I mean, what is sexuality? What is intimacy? And so on. And this leads to fear among many women, and then it is easier if you have some sort of a sexual partner, or if you have a boyfriend in that sense, who is dependent from you in that sense that he cannot leave you if you are not woman enough to him, and so on. If you have not this sexual drive like Samantha, if you want. I hope this was understandable. So this is then why the character arc of Miranda in Sex and the City may be appealing to many women. Again, this is not to deride feminism or not all. No. This is really about the fear if you grow up in a male society. So we are. Time is up for today. We will continue with this the next time. Don't worry, I will come up with a small summary in the beginning for tomorrow. So this was Adem Kirbas from Ordu in Turkey. We are in the pandemic. I hope that you all are doing fine. Bye.